0% until we get the finalize method on there. The tier element needs to be our minimum tier for everything. And this is a class, so the first thing we should do is do nothing with the tier. So finalize, we're going to go through all this stuff. We also need attach, and we actually need all the missions. Alright, so finalize, we call attach. We should also pass this. Okay, so let's do var completion equals 0. So for var I equals blah, this dot emissions dot length I plus plus var mission equals this dot emissions. So I if mission dot mission completion dot completed. Let's do completed, and let's also have total. As per your request, you made a start on the list of volume ideas for missions, volumes for triggering stuff. Yeah, I figure basically what I can do is do all that stuff. Did you put that list anywhere? I just see in the stream task nothing else there. Is that in the mission system doc? Let me see mockups. Stuff. I don't know. I don't see it off the top of my head. You probably already responded. It's in the mission doc. List of handy volumes. Alright. The thing that's in blue. Volumes that will be more useful than physical materials on surface. Player exit, player kill, ball kill, NPC kill. Okay, so you want trigger volumes to do other things as well. So what I would do is I'll basically have a list of objects I need to make, and those objects are going to include basically like a ball kill object would be a thing, and then you could attach trigger volumes to that yourself. So you drag one of these like things onto it, and it would have maybe a location and like a little debug symbol on it, like a ball X or something, and then what you would do is attach a collision volume component to that thing, and you could just scale it, and I'll automatically figure out if stuff happens. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Alright, so we have completed, so percent is going to be 0, so if total is greater than 1, let's just say if total equals 0, then percent equals 100. Otherwise, percent equals completed divided by total. If percent is less than 0, percent equals 0, percent is greater than 1, percent is 1, and we just need to set this guy to So let's just round to the nearest percent, and then we'll just do it like that, and we're truncated decimal places there, so it should just be like that. So finalize, and we errored because 93 has an issue. This emissions sub I. Yeah, kind of how I'm going to be making the mission system is hopefully we can get all the UI and everything else on there with, like, you know, timers and victory and loss conditions and crap like that. And then once all the wrapping paper around all this crap is finished, we can start making the actual stuff we can put in the missions. So the first missions or whatever may be super simple and not have anything other than, you know, basic win-loss conditions. And then as we are able to add more game objects, they're not going to have like extra UI for them. You know, they'll use like the same announce system or whatever. They'll just have something else that's in the game. Why is the finalize fucked up? So we've got 10 missions, and the missions are all there, so... it's mission.mission. Of course it is. Completion and tier. So 70% of these are completed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The other question would be, should we have a percentage or should we have... percentage is fine. Reward for completed mission? Don't know what you mean. Alright, so I need to add the category undefined. Alright, there we are, yeah. Undefined, none, training, ball control, and scoring. Excellent. So the categories are showing up there. Now we need the tiers. So the lowest tier is going to be the EBS completion tier dot bronze. Actually, we want to get the int for the enum, so we're gonna, the lowest tier is going to be this completion tier dot get int for enum, and our enum is none. So we go through all these guys, and we will start off with, I guess, diamond tier. And if it's not completed, then let's see, we'll do var cur tier is going to be get int for enum none. So if we have completed it, then we'll set our cur tier to this mission completion dot tier or whatever it is, best tier. Okay, so then basically if cur tier is less than lowest tier, then cur tier equals lowest tier. Alright, then we basically need to switch on this EBS completion tier and get string for integer. Awarding abilities for completing a mission or category. We don't have a progression design set up, so I wouldn't even think about it, to be honest. So get string for int, and we'll do our lowest tier. Alright, so we'll do that, get string for int, let's do our things. Yeah, I mean, I basically wouldn't think about the unlocks there until we really have a progression system designed, because it may be that missions unlock them, it may be that missions give you a currency that you spend to unlock them, and all that, so I don't want to add anything in here until we get to that point, basically. Alright, to default, we're not going to do anything. Otherwise, we're going to add the class to the tier element. Well, I think you have to come up with a story first before we do all the rest for story. Right now we're getting the pieces and parts that we will use to create story, so like making sure that we have... Can we even do cutscenes? EBS completion tier is not defined. Mission selection 87. Get int. Diamond, get int for enum. What is it bitching about? EBS completion tier is not defined. That doesn't seem right. Oh, well that is broken, isn't it? Let's go fix our template. I mean, basically read between the lines. I don't think having individual missions unlock the specific abilities is a good idea unless you want specific story missions to unlock abilities themselves. But even at that point, I don't think we'd be unlocking the abilities except for inside of the story missions. So if we had a story mission, I would assume that instead of having the player unlock a certain skill, it would just be available in the game options for that mission. So it would be on a previous mission you unlocked double jump or something, is kind of irregardless. It would be that in mission 3, double jump is available, like player jumps is 2 or some shit. That's kind of how I would do that. And then for meta level stuff, I would use a currency to unlock everything else. So But I don't know. We'd have to talk about it. There's a lot of different implications on how each of those go. So I need to go to the generation for the templates for the JavaScript enums and fix this to uppercase that I've got going on here. So it should be list enum value. Yeah, this should not be uppercase right here. So let's regenerate that. Alright, so those look correct now. Well, it's definitely not the correct thing. Looks like it's grabbing the best tier. So if cur tier is less than lowest tier, alright, so let's see, where are you? Finalize. So lowest tier is 6. The current tier is 1. So current tier is 1. Current tier is 4. Oh, lowest. We should be setting lowest tier, not current tier. So, good. That's what it should be doing. And I'm going to go into this gameplay and set the number of missions down to like 2. Alright, so yeah, there we go. So you've got bronze on there because that's your lowest rank. And you've finished 100% of the missions, but you're bronze tier. Okay, so that looks like that's working. Yeah, why does double jump exist? And I would assume basically if you were taking the tack of explaining why these things exist using the story mission. I mean, we pretty much need to talk about what the story mission is, like if we have story missions, what the goal of story missions are. And if the goal of the story missions is to train the player up while telling a story so that by the end of, like if you're playing StarCraft or some other complicated competitive RTS, you'll play through the campaign missions kind of to, they're basically a giant, 10-hour tutorial. So the idea would be that the story missions tell a story, but it's really a tutorial to get you into the end game, quote unquote, which would be the multiplayer content. So by the time you finish the story, you should be able to jump into a match with actual people in it, and at least when Jeff beats you, you realize that he beat you because, oh, he used double jump and he was better hitting the ball in the air than I was. But you're not like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Is there a goal? Why is there a ball here? But then the question becomes, why do we have the other missions? And the other missions are basically, we want content for people who do not like, it would be, we want in-game content for people who do not like playing multiplayer. Such as, I really like this game, I hate playing against other people online, but I like playing against bots. I like the challenge of running through and around and using crazy abilities. So there's all these challenge missions for me to do. That's why I want to buy this game. Okay, so we're going to need another style here, which is going to be if this thing is selected or not. I'm gonna have to get creative. Anyway, so I need a click handler on the missions themselves. All right. Do we have a screen? We do have a screen, right? Okay, so we'll do on mission click. We also want a on selected and on unselected. And what we want to do for this guy is basically take our background node. Do we have our background node on this guy? Mission category. We do have background. So this dot in background. We'll add class selected, and we will remove class selected. So we're going to go to the backgrounds. So CSS is applied. Basically, the last style, regardless, is used. So we want to grab the background mission. So we've got locked completed. It's not going to matter if we do mission selection dot selected right here. It will always use the selected if selection is the last thing in the style sheet. So I can go ahead and just make this super ridiculously obvious. And so we need a on mission clicked function. Alright, so we'll do on unselected. We'll do unselected. We also need this selected mission to be a variable that we can deal with. Alright, so let's see what that looks like. So we click on this guy, we click on you, click on you. So we can go click on stuff now, and it's overwriting the locked, it's overwriting the active, it's doing everything we want. So now we need to take it when we click on one of these guys that it actually selects it and has the correct thumbnail and everything else. Let's go to our details panel. Okay, so We've got details locked. We've got all this crap. So let's start lining up. Yeah, I think if we're gonna do progression, when I think about progression, I think about unlocking. There's kind of two tiers. There's unlocking cosmetic stuff, and then there's unlocking abilities. And then there's because I can see abilities that really matter. I don't know. I could see it in parallel. But for the mission, like story missions, I don't see anything other than like a linear story. So when you're unlocking stuff, it's kind of like, well, you finished the mission before it, so you know, it's not that we need to unlock abilities for your player progression through this system. By virtue of being on mission 5, we know you've gotten mission 1 through 4 done. Otherwise, what we have to do is have a different locking system for unlocking missions, and that's where like a map comes into play. Where unlocking stuff on a map does that. So probably what we should do is assume that the single player missions screen is probably all just challenge missions, because I could definitely see a need for a story mission system to have like a much better UI than this, and have, you know, when you had that map thing all lined up, because that's when it actually matters, where you can go sit down and be like, no, I need this screen to have these real locations, and I need to have, when you click on a mission, it highlights that location on the map and all that other shit, and like then the time to do that is. So yeah, we'll have to go through quite a bit of stuff for that. I believe. So we have the mission name, we have the details, we also have the locked panel. So this will be mission locked. We have a start button, which we already have. Do we have anything else? We have the thumbnail and we have the rank. So what does it look like right now with if it's locked? If it's locked, it's going to show everything under it currently and just have it be grayed out. So we'll want to keep that stuff around, but like switch it to like some default mission thing. All right, that works for me. So I'm gonna need the mission thumb here, and then the mission rank. Yeah, but the extra 3 weeks for missions, the question would also be if we're able to actually start with the story stuff. Because if we're able to get the basic mission stuff in order, um, we might be able to start with like some teaser story missions, like maybe a first story mission or something like that, which doesn't do much, just like a placeholder at least. I don't know. It's like story's gonna wrap into progression, so that's fine. So let's do this on mission clicked and just pass in null, and that'll reset all this crap to our basic everything's. Locked name. Okay, I need the locked name div too. I was thinking of using the first few missions to tell the story of the ball. You play a few matches with Fatsack, then unlock the ball. As in, you unlock the Fatsack ball itself, or... I'm not really sure what you mean by unlock the ball. Alright, so we have all these guys. So for the selected mission name, if there is no selected mission, what should this look like? It should just be blank, or it should just be like select a mission? No mission selected? Alright, so no mission selected. And the details is going to be blank. The locked is going to be hidden. The thumbnail is going to be... Let me see. What have I got for the thumbnails? Sorry, it can be difficult talking about design stuff on stream because of the stream delay, so I'm sorry if I'm not reading things as quickly as I could. I'm also trying to work, so playing as Bitey, you find a fat sack in the level. There's a cutscene of the flying girl replacing the fat sack with a ball, so from then on you're playing with the ball instead of fat sack. So let me see how I would frame that in the current system. Basically, you'd pop up with stage 1. Stage 1 would be you just get dropped into the level and it says explore the field, or it just doesn't say much. You then move over to the area with Fatsack, and when you get close, it triggers the victory trigger volume, which wins you the stage, which then plays the cutscene for that stage, which would be replacing the ball. You then start a new stage, which is you with the ball. If you're asking for cutscenes that actually play within the stage itself, that's a new feature. So you're going to have to ask for that. So the thumbnail stuff right now, because otherwise it's like a whole stage, right? So let's see, we need screen assets, missions, thumbs, score goal 01. So thumbnails right now, is it part of an enum for the thumbnail? How do I want to do this? because I've got these. Where the hell are they? Mission action, mission category. We have a name for a thumbnail, I believe it is, inside of the actual thing. Yeah, because if you need all those sorts of things, like we're talking about needing more features to really tell it the story, because the current system is pretty, simplistic. It's just, we can reuse stuff to do the cutscenes, but we need to. That's the sort of feature that needs to be called out, so I can do that. Which is, otherwise, it's like you have to put it in terms of stages, because you only have a chance to play a cutscene between stages, and then we can have it so the stages are kind of transparent in how they transition. Such as if it's on the same map, it's not going to have a loading screen, and we could always have a checkbox for show pre-stage UI. So it would go to it would be a real stage with like a place for a cutscene, right? But you'd have like don't show the UI, so it would just skip it and go on to the next one. And inside of your post mission summary, you would see the stages that you completed, and it would be like find Fat Sack, and you'd be like, oh, that was a stage? Okay, cool, But it probably wouldn't be too confusing. So I think that'd probably work. It just might be not as intuitive for the design and construction of it. So yeah, I think you might be able to get away with that with what we got rolling right now, as you say. Alright, so thumbnails are part of a string on here. Let me go see where those are. Header, description, context. Do we have a thumbnail on here? We just have header, description. I don't see a thumbnail. So the question is, do we want thumbnails to be explicitly defined? So that every one of these, like, is there a drop down? I think a drop down is probably the easiest way to do this. So we should probably just do it that way. So to do that, we would have mission thumbnail. Kind of like this. And then we would need this guy to work kind of like that. It'd have to be all uppercase and that sort of thing. So this will be our none, just to make it different a little bit. And we'll need to have an F mission, so that's on game objects. Put it under the header. So we'll have thumb. Should be a mission thumbnail. Default will be none. Alright, I need to regenerate all that then. And I also need to add that to the game objects that are inside of the service stuff, because that needs to be saved on the back end. And all I was saying earlier about me not reading responses and needing to work is more of just, hopefully, I know I get frustrated trying to explain an idea to somebody who has a 15-second delay. So if we go to definitions, objects, game objects, let's make sure these are checked out. I need to, yes, we know. You didn't open it. You didn't open it, did you? I wanted to, but then you didn't. So we need to go to this guy here. We put it under description. So let's keep it simple. So this will be thumb. It is a string. 1, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And let's regenerate that. Going to end my win streak, son of a bitch. I don't think so. It's more of a tie streak because I haven't really been playing that much. I don't think you need to end my win streak. You've got like 70,000 points last time I checked. That's crazy. So I need to go to the game data stuff here. I hear that getting hit. I just don't want to. I see that. So I need to finish this real quick. So this is part of the mission, so it's next to the description. So mission.thumb is going to be mission get thumb, and under this other guy we need mission set thumb to be mission.thumb. Excellent. So I'll get that building. And I can't believe you haven't scored yet, or you're just playing nice. Did you try the mission 1 that I have set up with the 3 times speed multiplier and the ridiculously gigantic ball? It's pretty funny. You can outrun the camera, but as soon as you outrun the camera, you're pretty much at the end of the level, and you just smack into the wall. Oh, I almost got it. Like I completely missed the ball. Oh shit. I was too slow. Hey, I'm trying to stop here. You hit me perfectly, so my character stopped in midair. Out of here. Ow! Ooh, that was good defense. Ow. Yeah, the slide is not enough to pop it up out of the way of people online. Nice shot. Oh. I'm trying to do that kick. Ow. I was gonna go for it. Oh man, on my screen I knocked you out of the stomp when you were just about to hit it. Stomp countered. Damn. Cannot convert from F string to EVS mission thumbnail. Alright, so I need to do UBS mission thumbnail get enum for string. GG's there. And same thing below. So it's going to be thumbnail statics. This will be thumbnail statics get string for enum. So let's get that building. Ah, he's out of here? Alright. What is my current status anyway? What are the leaderboards looking like? All time. Oh, I'm beating Karakan now. I can gloat a little bit about that. Let's see, what's our streak looking like? Currently, I have a 50 win streak. I haven't played any real games. I've only popped in and sabotaged other people's games. With a 93% win ratio, which means it's complete trash, and I don't play anybody. Wait, how do I have a win percentage of 93%? But you look at this, matches played, matches won, and I have a 55% win-loss ratio. I think something's wrong here with our... it's wins and losses. Oh, that makes sense. My win ratio sucks real bad because a lot of my matches have ended in ties. Because I'm just sitting and I'm doing jack nothing. Let's see, the daily leaderboards, though, I'm top of those for April 20th because the only stats that have gone in for today are that previous match we just played. Jeff's racking up points yesterday. Very cool. Well, let's screw up my win ratio even more. Win-loss ratio takes in that, yeah, it takes ties into account. You gotta win to get a win. Versus the win percentage on the other one is based on wins versus losses. Alright, so that built. So we've got the thumbnails. Let me think here. was gonna do something. Yeah, I was gonna mark down the users for today. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It also looks like one of the things we should think about for multiplayer stuff when we go to Steam is maybe one of the things that we really need to do is do matchmaking when we go to Steam and have solos, like a solo queue, like 1v1, like different matchmaking things like that, where we want like 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, and then like go play. Because as far as I've seen, the stats have been nice to bring people back, but it's too many damn people in the game. Like 3v3 is just so chaotic that you pretty much want to 1v1 people. Like it really seems like either I'm gonna 1v1 or 2v2, and the 3v3 is like I don't care anymore. Like I'm just I'm gonna be void and I'm gonna sit in the corner and punch people in the face. That's your gameplay end goal strategy. All right, so 258. Selected mission thumb. I need to set the picture. So set background image CSS jQuery. We need to say CSS like this. And this needs to be our enums. Did I close the enums? I did. Alright, so we'll hide the lock screen. This is EBS mission thumbnail none. What we need is the preamble. So var yeah. And that's gonna be I think it's gonna be that. So we just need to add these guys in here. There we go. So that's the none picture. No mission selected. Or just run all 3v3s and leave it up to the community to set up 1v1, 2v2s. I don't think so. The Oh, that's so horseshit. Like, they can't get more than 10 people into a game with game lift because it's just their matchmaking doesn't fucking work. It is currently deployed to half of our regions, and we expect it to be in all regions by end of day tomorrow. I'll let you know when it's fixed. We're very sorry about this. If they announced known bugs, it would have saved us so much time. Yeah, exactly. At least from the Maelstrom stuff, the biggest amount of feedback that they've gotten around their multiplayer stuff is their matchmaking. They really want different types of matchmaking queues to go into to play how they want to play. So I think the idea of having different matchmaking queues is pretty compelling to people. So as far as from what I can tell. At least I am thinking for it as being pretty important. So okay, if we don't have this guy, we also need to hide the start button, right? Selected mission start button. So we'll hide it. Excuse me. So we don't have a start button. We also don't have a tier. So selected mission rank should also probably be hidden. I mean, the mission details we might even want done. Like, mission details.hide might be something we want. Because then it'll remove this panel completely. Let's take a look. This no mission selected thing. Mission name. We've got width, blah blah, text shadow, blah, more blah. How come this is offset? Like, this has got padding left on it? Yeah. Alright, we'll just leave it like that for now. There's just a locked. So there's like a locked, but then there's like also you don't have a mission selected at all, and just having a blank panel is eh. Alright, so no mission selected. So we actually want to call select mission and get stuff in there. We also want to remove things. So the mission rank, we want to remove all classes. So I think if we go to our UI, globals, yeah. I probably want something simple like a var ranks rank classes. Some simple. If you want a completely separate div for the not selected area, so we just, this would be a completely separate thing. I just think this looks okay. So I don't think we need to go add a whole nother thing unless you really want it or something. So let's see, we want to go through every rank for rank classes.length, and basically this remove class, and this will be rank classes sub I.